Sophie Turner, and you're watching France 24.
We know her best for playing Sansa Stark in one of the biggest TV shows of our time, Game of Thrones. She's at the Deauville American Film Festival, where she's been awarded the Hollywood Rising Star Award.
It's a very strange thing when you're really kind of doing something like acting that you love so much and it just feels like a hobby, and then all of a sudden I get an award for it from Deauville and just kind of blown away and very, very humbled by it.
Sophie Turner, hello.
Hello.
It has been a mega year for you. The final season of the biggest show in the world, Game of Thrones. There was X-Men Dark Phoenix. You got married.
Yeah, all those things here in France.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, this year has been so amazing for me, both professionally and personally. And I'm kind of panicking, to be honest, because it's getting to the end of the year and I'm thinking, I don't have anything else. But I have this one last movie to give, so I'm excited about this, but I'm slightly worried that I peaked too soon.
Maybe I'm being selfish, trying to change him, getting mad at him like this. Because that's just who he is. He's never tried to change me.
Sophie's new film is called Heavy, directed by Jury Smith. It's premiering at the 45th Deauville Film Festival.
More of your nasty drug horse.
Baby, that's not what we
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you!
Well, the new movie is called Heavy. It's been compared to Romeo and Juliet, Bonnie and Clyde, True Romance.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So Heavy is basically a movie about, it is kind of a Bonnie and Clyde movie, True Romance, very much inspired by Tarantino anyway, but it's about this couple, Seven and Maddie. One is an ex-drug addict, one is a current drug addict, and also a drug dealer. And so they kind of go on this sort of adventure, or he goes on this adventure, and it's basically like a butchered drug drop is what happens, and kind of chaos ensues. And it really tests the boundaries of their relationship. And the drug use is almost a metaphor for not really being able to see what's right in front of you, being so caught up in all these other things and not genuinely seeing what's right there. And so this movie is so exciting to me in many ways. I can't wait for people to see it.
And in the entertainment industry, how easy or difficult is it to keep yourself away from this sort of world, this drug world?
I mean, it's pretty easy for me. I mean, it's, you know, obviously, I suppose it's around everywhere. But for me, it's never been something that I've been particularly interested in. And so it's easy for me to say no. I can see how people, you know, can get kind of sucked into it and fall down a dark path. And it's a serious epidemic, especially, you know, in the States. There's a great heroin epidemic that's happening right now. And so it's absolutely something that needs to be addressed and needs to be changed. But luckily for me, I haven't been down that path myself.
And the character you play is so different to Sansa.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know you for as well. She's very sexual. Mm-hmm. We see her taking drugs.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was really strange. I felt like, you know, doing that on screen, I felt like my mum was watching constantly because, I don't know, Game of Thrones, you know, it's always been incredibly violent and bloody and things like that. But I think the thing that would, you know, make my mum most disappointed in me would be like if she saw me doing drugs and I'm willingly, you know, snorting vitamins and pretending it's heroin, you know, whatever it is, and knowing that my mum's going to see it is just a terrifying concept to me. So I almost felt more insecure on this set than any because I was just so paranoid about being seen as...
Have you briefed your mum for when she does see it?
Not yet. I think I probably should. I'll call her after this.
Don't fight in the north or the south. Fight every battle, everywhere.
During the 10-day Deauville Film Festival, there's a Game of Thrones marathon, where all 8 seasons are being shown on the big screen.
You grew up on Game of Thrones. Tell us about one immense memory now that it's all finished for you.
Oh my gosh, one memory. It's hard to think of one memory.
When the snows fall When the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Probably the memory that comes into my head all the time is the pilot read-through, because it was kind of all of the lead characters in one room, and it was the first time that we're all meeting each other, and it's about 20 people in one room, and as you know, Game of Thrones watchers know, it gets a lot more than that as time goes by. Like eventually we have about 300 principal characters, and so that is one of the fondest memories for me. Just remembering where it started and seeing where it went is just kind of mind-blowing.
Coming from the airport, there was like paparazzi. I was like, I'd never seen one of those before. In England, you get nothing. You'd be lucky, like, once a week someone would recognize you, and it wouldn't even be like, hi, Santa. They'd be like...
Can you remember the first time you met a fan?
I do remember the first time I met a fan. I remember it was at a pub in England, in London, and it was this boy that was maybe like 3 or 4 years older than me. I was about 13, and he asked for a picture, and I was just like, I'm the coolest person ever. And I really fancied him, and he never gave me his number or anything, so I was quite disappointed.
You're very active on social media.
Yes.
There's a lot of scrutiny for famous people, but also regular people on social media, because we all live in this public domain now. What effect is that having on young people, do you think, and young women in particular?
I think social media is a double-edged sword. I think, and I've always struggled with it myself. Like for me, I love it because it lets me communicate with my, the people who have supported me for so long. It lets me get clear and direct of what I want to say across if I want to clear up any rumors or anything, and it just gives me a platform to kind of speak out on issues that I feel passionately about. But on the other side, it can really, really, really damage your mental health, I think. Especially, in people who are prone to kind of body dysmorphia or have eating disorders or any kind of body kind of disorders. It's really dangerous for people to be on social media, I think. We're suddenly living in this world where everything is edited and altered, and that's considered perfect, and it's considered achievable. And it's not. It's never achievable. And so we're always kind of striving for something that we can't have, that isn't real, and it makes us not feel like we're living up to our potential. But the truth is that potential is... There's no potential because it's fake, it's false. No one lives like that, no one looks like that. I think it's a really scary thing that we kind of live believing that that's real, and it's not.
One of the recurring themes in my work, including this film Heavy, is mental illness. It's a matter that's incredibly close to my heart. And I find it not only important, but necessary for us as filmmakers to depict mental illness and what it truly means to have and to live with it, to destigmatize it, to change the way society views it, and to make sufferers feel less alone.
But you, through talking honestly, like you are here, you have become an icon for young people, especially young women. And you've spoken about your own problems with depression, with mental health, and things like that. How do you keep yourself well? How do you keep yourself safe when you live in sort of this crazy universe?
I talk to a therapist, and I really take time to talk to my therapist, like at least once or twice a week. I think people who don't even have any problem should talk to a therapist. It's been one of the most kind of healing things for me. Journaling as well really helps me, but medication as well. I think there's kind of a stigma around people who take medication, or medication itself. There's a stigma around, it being kind of unnatural and all of that. But medication saved my life, and therapy saved my life, and so I would always recommend, always, always, always. It's a wonderful thing, therapy.
What's next for you then, Sophie Turner?
Next for me, I'm filming this great movie right now, this little movie that I don't think I can tell you about, but I'm filming it in Latvia, which is really fun and beautiful. And that's kind of it. That's all I have coming up, except for this movie right now, Heavy, which is hopefully coming out very soon, that I'm incredibly proud of. But you'll have to wait and see. There'll be many more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.